Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm teaching myself how to make tallow from beef suet. I connected with this farmer last week, local guy here in Wisconsin, and I liked his product. I liked the way he took care of his animals. And even though this isn't grass-fed, which is the preferable way to do it, I thought I'd start off with some of the cheaper cuts to see what they were like and if I really want to keep doing this. And ended up with a 5-pound bag of suet. Suet is the fat that comes from near the kidney area of the beef after it's been harvested. Now I'm in the process of melting it down, and I've been reading up on it like anybody else that would be learning a new skill. But I guess my first lesson was I needed 2 Crock-Pots to get a 5-pound bag started, so that's what I'm doing. But I'm really surprised. This has been cooking for about an hour in a low temperature crock pot, and it is melting super fast. So all I've been doing is just kind of stirring it around to get it to break down. But let me see if I can grab some here. The little meat chunks that are left over, when this gets done, I understand that's called crackling, and people actually have used it in other food products like for salad toppings and with vegetables and stuff. So we'll see. I really don't know where this is going to take me. But beef tallow is priced because it cooks at a higher temperature. This is a dry cooking method. I did not add any water to it. If you do add water to it and get the beef odor out of it, you can use it in cosmetics too. And I imagine you can probably use it for soap making and candle making and all that kind of stuff. So this will be a new learning experience for me as well. And so if I'm approaching this from a beginner's perspective, which is kind of how I direct all of my videos so that you can just jump into this kind of stuff, then you can learn along with me. So we're going to let this cook. They said up to 10 hours. A lot of these homesteaders like to do it overnight. I don't trust leaving crock pots overnight, especially this old 1970s guy over here. I feel like that's just kind of pushing it. So this one I'm going to keep an eye on during the day, and I should have my melted tallow by the end of the day. And then it's going to go into jars, and it can be stored in a refrigerator, I understand, for up to years. We'll see how that goes. And I'm actually more interested in getting shelf-stable products, but I think in a cool spot, they said you can store it for months. So, okay, I'll catch up with you a little bit later when this is a little further down the road. Okay, everybody, I'm back. It's been about 5 hours since I started this morning, and you can see that my fat has all melted off the tallow. As previously discussed, we're experimenting for the first time with this, and I want to see if I have any talent for attempting this. So I did do a dry rendering with this, and I rubbed a little bit on my arm because, you know, you can use it for makeup and for moisturizing lotions too with skincare products. So yeah, I don't know if it did anything special or not, but my husband said I smelled like a steak. So since I'm not really interested in attracting men at this point in my life, I guess that's okay. My dog certainly liked what I smelled like, so we'll see if it does anything for my body down the road. I pulled out all the meat scraps. You can see them here. And I'll drain off some of the fat from that too. And then I'm just going to scoop out some of this fat, this melted fat. It's very hot, so if you guys do this, please be careful. It is yellow now, and I'm told it's going to turn a beautiful creamy white when it hardens and gets firm. So then over here, I have a strainer. Oh, there goes my spoon all over the floor. Something else for the dog. I have a strainer here, and I've lined it with fabric, but it's sitting in a strainer. And I'm going to pour this into that, and that's going to catch any remaining little tidbits that I don't want in my fat. Wow, look how quickly it's thickening up. Okay, well, that's where we're at. I'm going to proceed with that. I'm not quite sure what I'll end up doing with this stuff. It's actually pretty lean and very clean, so I may just remove more of that greasy fat and take that out and maybe save the meat scraps for my pup or discard them. I don't know yet. So, all right, catch up with me in a little bit and I will show you the finished product. Hi, everybody. I'm back, and this is my finished product. These are still cooling a little bit. They're still kind of yellowish. When they are fully cooled, they will be a gorgeous shade of creamy white. I made about 14 cups. I have one in the fridge too. So these will be shelf stable for months, and then if it goes beyond that, I can put them in the refrigerator and they'll keep even longer. So I was doing some research while I was waiting for these to cool. And to be honest, and I'm speaking as a nutritionist, people are still on the fence about whether this is healthy or not. The general consensus is, yes, this is a saturated fat, but it has some benefits with special nutrients that can keep you healthy. On the other hand, if you have serious heart disease, let's face it, it's something that will add to your cholesterol. So this is a decision everybody has to make on their own. I chose to experiment with this, first of all, because I had never done it in my life. And because, I learned something new and something fun. I also saw the farm. I met the farmer. I saw the cows and the steers. And I feel like knowing that my food is not grown in a lab, that it's actually raised in a humane way in a good environment, and also knowing that it's not hydrogenated cottonseed oil, which is what Crisco is. Crisco was actually invented to replace this type of product. I think at one time it was just, they thought it was the greatest thing ever, but now we know that it's not so good for us. So you're going to have to make your own choice about this. I paid about $15 for 5 pounds of suet, and one of these jars in my grocery store costs $12. So economically, it was a good choice to make, but we use it sparingly. I'm going to have to make some decisions here about how to use it, but we don't deep fry anything. We use a lot of olive oil and monosaturated oils too, but I wanted to try this and I wanted to see if it's better than something that might possibly be grown in a lab someday. Sadly, I am very disappointed that they are predicting that cocoa will be lab produced by 2027. And I've seen lists that say there will only be about 3 or 4 candy companies that will use real cocoa in their products. So if cocoa is a thing at your home, I suggest you go ahead and stock up on that, as well as make sure you're reading labels about whether your meat is real or not, because I just don't know where this is going. These cost-cutting measures are really getting out of hand with our food supply. So, okay, that's all I've got for today. And as I use this down the road, I will be sure to post about it, probably on my Facebook page. So we'll see how we like that when I try it next week. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.